Controlling expenses in AWS, SQL injections, and resource configurations are few of the critical topics that we are going to discuss in this video. We will take some very important questions around these concepts so that you can very well understand the concepts and also prepare for the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam. So let's dive into the very first question for today. Here it comes. So here comes the very first question for today, question number 306, part 46. The question is asking, how can the AWS enable a company to control the expenses as an application usage changes unpredictability? Now here is a hint for you. The question is actually asking about the scaling of the application. So what happens or what are the options to control the expenses in case the usage of the application is going up or going down? So that is exactly what the question is asking you. Let's look at the options. Option A is AWS will refund the cost difference if a customer moves to the larger servers. Option B, the application can build to scale up or down automatically as the resources are needed. Option C, spot instances will automatically be used if the prices are lower than the on-demand instances. And then we have option D, Amazon CloudWatch will automatically predict what resources are needed. And once again, we are talking about the auto scaling of the application, and keeping that point in mind, the correct answer would be option B. The application can be built to scale up or down automatically as the resources are needed. Now let me give you explanation for the same. So here you can see that AWS provides auto scaling and elastic load balancing, allowing the application to dynamically adjust resources based on the demand. And this ensures that the company only pays for the resources that it actually uses. It really reduces the cost when the demand decreases and scaling up when more capacity is required. And now let's look at why other options are not correct. And in the incorrect options, first of all, we have AWS will refund the cost difference if a customer moves to the larger server. And this is not correct because AWS does not offer automatic refunds when upgrading or downgrading the instances, and customers must manage their own cost optimization through services like saving plans and reserved instances. And then we have spot instances will automatically be used if the prices is lower than the on-demand instances. Of course, this one is also incorrect, and the reason is very simple. Spot instances are not automatically used. They must be specifically requested and managed and can be interrupted if the prices goes above the customer's bid. So in case you have bid for the spot instances, let's say at the $100, but in case there is a demand surge in spot instances, then the prices will go up and you may lose the spot instance. Coming to the last option here, this says Amazon CloudWatch will automatically predict what resources are needed. And here I want to say that while the Amazon CloudWatch, it provides the monitoring and alerts, it does not predict or automatically allocate the resources. However, Amazon CloudWatch, it works alongside the auto scaling to help manage resource utilization. So I hope my friends you understood why we picked this as a correct option and why the others are incorrect options. Let's move to the next question. And friends, in the very previous episode, we talked about concepts like AWS availability zones, AWS edge locations, and AWS regions. And in the very next episode, we are going to discuss how to bring the efficiency in cost saving in Amazon AWS. And in case, my friends, you're also preparing for other exams, both in Microsoft Azure and Amazon AWS, then the exam Q&A PDF files are also available. And for that, you can use the join button or email me at connectors@thetechblackboard.com. So here it comes, question number 307. It says, which AWS service or feature can be used to prevent SQL injections attack? And your options are option A, security groups, option B, network ACL, option C, AWS WAF, and option D, IAM policy. And the correct answer for the same is option C, AWS WAF. And let me explain more on AWS WAF. So AWS WAF, my friends, is a web application firewall that really helps you protect your web application against the common web exploits that might affect your availability and compromise the security. And here I've got some interesting documentation for you working with SQL injection match conditions. And of course, you will be able to understand in much more detail in this documentation, but let me try to summarize this for you. So AWS WAF, it gives you control how the traffic reaches your application by enabling you to create security rules that block the common attacks pattern like the SQL injection and also cross-site scripting. This is very important, cross-site scripting. And also, my friends, AWS WAF allows you to review rules and customize them to prevent new attacks from reaching your server. But let me ask you a very interesting question here. What exactly is the difference between AWS Firewall and AWS WAF? Let me know in the comment section. Very interesting question. Let's see how many of you are really getting prepared to pass the cloud practitioner exam or work in AWS environment. So I will really wait for your answers in the comment section. But for now, let's move on with the next question. Question number 308 that says a company wants to track AWS resource configuration changes for compliance reasons. Which AWS feature can be used to meet this requirement? Your options are option A, AWS cost and usage report, option B, AWS organization service control policies, option C, AWS config rules, or option D, VPC flow logs. It's a tricky question, not in the sense it's very complex, but actually it is based on lesser known AWS concept. For now, let me tell you the correct answer, and that is option C, AWS config rules. So let me give you some documentation on the same. So here, my friends, you can read all about the AWS config, and the documentation is telling you that the AWS config is a service that enables you to access, audit and evaluate configuration of your AWS resources. What are the benefits of the same? First of all, it lets you manage your resource configuration changes. Then it evaluates the configuration against the desired state. And finally, it helps you troubleshooting and remediation. And just below that, we are also given with the use cases for the AWS config. And I would strongly recommend you to read all the use cases. Really helps you understand where exactly you would put the AWS config rules. So I will leave you with this documentation. Links to all the documentation that I'm using in this video is given in the description box. Let's jump on to the next question. Question number 309 that says a company is expecting a short-term spike in the internet traffic for its application. Now, during the traffic increase, the application cannot be interrupted. This is a very important line. During the traffic increase, the application cannot be interrupted, because this will guide our answer. So please mind this line here. The company also needs to minimize the cost and maximize flexibility. Which Amazon EC2 instance type should the company use to meet these requirements? Your options are option A, on-demand instances, option B, spot instances, option C, reserved instances, and option D, dedicated hosts. So could you really guess the answer based on the important line I highlighted here? Well, the correct answer is option A, on-demand instances. So let me give you more explanation on the same. So here you can see that the on-demand instances, my friend, these are ideal for short-run, unpredictable workloads when the applications cannot be interrupted. Once again, applications cannot be interrupted. That is where you choose the on-demand instances. Now, let's suppose the question was telling you that the application can tolerate the interruptions, or the application is not that critical, it can be interrupted. In that case, my friend, the best option would be spot instances, because spot instances, they really offer the lowest cost but can be interrupted if AWS needs capacity for other customers. So please take a note here. Whenever your application can be interrupted or it is tolerant to the interruptions, then you can choose the spot instances as it offers the lowest cost. Otherwise, if it cannot be interrupted, then you have to choose the on-demand instances. And what about the other options given here? Well, we have reserved instances. Now, reserved instances, my friends, they require a long-term commitment, normally 1 to 3 years, to get the cost saving. So they are best for the predictable, steady workloads and not for the short-term traffic spikes, which is actually the ask of the question. Then coming to the dedicated host. Well, dedicated hosts, they provide physical servers for the compliance and listening requirement, but they actually come at a high cost and are not flexible for the short-term scaling. So in a nutshell, dedicated hosts are not the cost-saving option for handling temporary traffic increases. That's why on-demand instances is the best bet for this question. I hope, my friends, all these explanations why the option is right and why the options are wrong are really helping you out. If yes, then please put a comment in the comment section. Maybe you can just write yes, it is helping. It really helps us bring more engagement on the videos and thus helps the video to spread across wider audience. And please like the video also. And with that, let's move on to the next question. Question number 310 that says a company is planning to run a global marketing application in AWS Cloud. Now, the application will feature videos that can be viewed by the users. The company must ensure that all the users views these videos with low latency. So this is the primary ask of the question. The company wants to store the videos and also wants to ensure that the users are able to watch the video with low latency. Which AWS service should the company use to meet this requirement? And your options are option A, AWS auto scaling, option B, Amazon Kinesis video streams, option C, elastic load balancing, or option D, Amazon CloudFront. So pause the video for a moment and put your answers in the comment section. But for now, let me tell you the correct answer is option D, Amazon CloudFront. I hope you also chose the same answer. Let me give you some documentation on Amazon CloudFront. So here, my friends, this is Amazon CloudFront documentation from AWS itself. Let me summarize this for you. So Amazon CloudFront, it really speeds up your delivery of the static and dynamic web content such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, videos or images as well by leveraging high resilient Amazon backbone network, and also ensures deliver the data securely to the user using local cache zones instead of fetching from the origins. So this really reduces overall latency and subsequently increase the average performance, and that's exactly what was asked in the question as well. Please do not forget to watch our other very exciting videos both on Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, exam vouchers, free exam certifications, and also you can learn very exciting topics on generative AI. And friends, in case you are new to the cloud world, these videos will really help you how to pick between AWS, GCP or Microsoft Azure. And these videos will also help you choose the correct job profiles available in the cloud computing. So that's why please subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon and choose that all option to get the timely notifications of all our interesting videos. And that's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning and thanks for watching.